right, a very good morning to you. It's good to see you right here on Your World. I know most of you are like, Whitney, what are the glasses? Listen, today I am surrounded by genius. Okay, that's why, you know, when you say, when you are with smart people, also act smart. And sasa nikona miwani leo, I appear with genius in one way or the other. It's so good to see you on Wellness Wednesday. We apologize for starting late, but here we are, and we're going to have an amazing, amazing conversation this morning, and it's all about uniquely wired superpowers of the mind, and that is what we'll be delving into the conversation, and also discovering what makes each child uniquely gifted. And I have a gifted child today. Yani, before we started the show, he's told me the longest word in the dictionary. Do you know what that word is? If you do, then let us know. And that is on our socials at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on X, and tag me as well at Lubembe_Winnie. And if you have a question, feel free to engage with us as well. We're live, so that means you can call in. And since we have a genius with us today, okay, we have a challenge for you. If you have a challenge for him, okay, and the parent and the teacher said, listen, ask him anything, general knowledge, science, biology, physics, all those things, ask him and he will give you all the answers. So I said, yeah, what's the longest word in the dictionary? And you said what?
Microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
You write it, okay? Take a screenshot and share with us and at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on X. Oh my days, it is so good to see you and good to have you. How are you? How you doing? You have the mic. Your mic is here. Yeah, hapa. Unaona hapa kwa shati yako? Hapo you have the mic. Salimia watu nyumbani. Say hi to them.
Hi.
Yes, they can hear you. Ebu tell them your name and how old you are.
My name is Christian Fadhili Mwangi and I am 7 years old.
Yes, 7 years old, and he can name the longest word in the dictionary that I can't even attempt to pronounce. I tried, nikashindwa, okay? But he is not alone. He's here with the mom. Esther Mwangi is here with us. Good morning. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Does he make you happy? Because look at him. Hi, Esther. How are you doing?
I'm well.
Thank you so much for making the time. Do you want to speak closer to the mic?
Yeah, I'm well this morning. Yeah, he makes me happy and scared at the same time.
Really?
So it's a mixed feeling. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why does he make you scared?
Because sometimes he throws you some challenges and you're like, I'm the grown-up here, I can't get it, and that challenge. Yeah. And well, it's sometimes also it's good for us. Yeah. We stretch, we learn more.
Absolutely.
With time.
Yeah.
But also I don't think we were ready for that.
Right. I'm like, please, because we need to learn this knowledge as much as we can. Yeah, and thank you for making time.
Yeah, thank you
so much for making the time, Esther. Yeah, he's seeing you on screen. He's like, Mama, I see you. And we also have Dishon Minor, who unfortunately the baby could not come because, again, listen, when the kids say, I am not ready, you respect that. Sandio. Hi, Dishon. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Tell us a little bit about your girl.
My name is Dishon. I am a father of a girl. My second-born girl has a condition we call dyslexia. We discovered that when she was little. Her way of learning is a little bit different. Yeah. She's not able to read and fluently at her age now, and also write. Yeah. But when you engage her on a normal case, she's very sharp. If you engage her, her language, her linguistic, her understanding of issues of life is very good. And it's someone I'm proud of. Yeah, she makes me proud. If she was here, she would probably be more eloquent than me.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. But it's good. I mean, it's okay. Well, we hope one day we'll be able to, have an experience with her and just get to understand how she thinks and how she, how she views things, which is beautiful. And we also have Monica Omboy, who is an inclusive education facilitator and as well as a principal, Laurent School in Thika. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you too.
How are you doing?
We're doing quite well. Yeah. And we thank God.
Yeah.
My name is Monica Wamboi. I'm the lead teacher at schools in Thika called Lillard School Thika. We carry on the local curriculum. Currently it's a CBE. And in the process of admission, we noticed as an institution that we get children either who have delayed milestone or who have some level of uniqueness. And they have become quite many nowadays. Particularly when they are joining school for the first time in the pre-group, that's when you realize a 3-year-old either is so unique, is able either to read or do what others do when they're already in school, or that has a speech issue, or could be too hyper. We may describe them cannot settle. All this giftedness made us to look at issues a bit differently as an institution, and started including these learners together with the others, their uniqueness notwithstanding. In the process, you find you have admitted children either who have autism, who have ADHD, others have dyslexia. Dyslexia is that inability either to read and write. It would be very unfair to judge that child's performance by their ability to lead, because where that element comes from the mind is not there in the for the child. So you must look for another way, and there are avenues even in our government to offer support to such children. Currently, we are also noticing a unique issue with children who are having inability to write. The child can read comfortably, comprehend and understand, but where the complexes, I don't know whether they are reflexes to make the child write, get the words into the brain and internalize them into writing is not there. And it's a condition called dysagraphia. So when you discover the child has dysagraphia, you see, majority of the people will dub the child as lazy, disrespectful, troublesome, but it's a condition. It's a condition. The inability also for a child, not anytime the child is not able to do what the rest of the children are doing at their age, is uniqueness. That's what, as a school, we strive to do, to know what is causing this uniqueness. Because when we were growing up, you find like in school, you would be lined up from position 1 to the last one. And those days you would remember the teachers would even punish the one who is in the last position and applaud the one who is in the first position. But there is something that is making that child who is in the last position not be able to move at the pace with other children. That's what is called intellectual difficulty. When and there are so many factors that causes that. So as an institution, we've come up with a way to identify the learner, address or come up with mitigation measures to be able to accommodate them. And we walk that journey together with the parents, as well as available avenues set by the government, like KISE, the therapist on the ground to offer support.
And I like that you're bringing up all these factors, because it's true. Majority of the times you find in school, kids are being punished, kids are being suspended, kids are being called names just because they're not learning in the same pace as everybody else. But we also forget that, hey, listen, they could be uniquely gifted in these other ways that we don't usually look at. We just think anasoma, anandika, and then that's it, okay? So today we'll, demystify all this means and go deeper into understanding. First of all, how do you discover these gifts, and how do you nurture these kids? Because kids are different, and they, when it comes to the development stages, they grow differently and they respond to things differently. And that is the thing that we wanted the parents to really get to understand, and even the teachers who are watching us this morning. So Fadhili, you're a genius. You know that, Zindia. You know that you are a genius. So what areas, what is it that you like most?
Biology, things like that.
Physics?
Sort of, but I kind of lost interest.
Oh, you did? Why? What happened?
I don't know.
You just lost interest. Okay, so biology you like. What else?
Sea life.
Okay, not only terrestrial, sea life.
Oh, wow.
Flora, not just fauna.
Really?
And I will also explain, and sorry to break it to you, but since I'm in a seat.
Since you are in a seat.
You don't have to look at yourself there, you can look at her.
Yes, so since you are in a seat,
Since I am in a seat, I will tell you things that you're doing wrong, everyday things.
Okay, tell me. What do we do wrong?
The first one, nobody wants to do at all.
Okay. What's that?
Putting ketchup in the fridge.
Yeah, people don't like to do that. So no. Why don't they like to do that?
Ketchup doesn't even need refrigeration.
Why doesn't it need refrigeration? I thought it does. Why doesn't it need refrigeration?
Who puts ketchup in the fridge anyways? That's the problem.
That's the problem. Don't put ketchup in a fridge. Simple.
What else?
And put things that need it.
Like what?
Your leftover degu from last night's dinner.
Important. A hair. What else? Your leftover degu. He's very specific. Degu. A hair. What else?
Eggs.
Yeah, eggs are important. Yeah. Okay. How long should people?
Broccoli.
Yeah, broccoli is important. So no.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that you know about broccoli because kids
And by
don't
the
like
way-
eating broccolis.
But by the way, it's tasty.
It's very tasty, right?
Yeah, that's-
Come, give me high five. Come, give me high five. Yes, broccoli are tasty. So for those kids who don't like broccolis are tasty. So let me ask, because you said you like sea life, right? I love the blue whale. So what is it that you want to tell me about the blue whale?
Blue?
Whale.
I shouldn't tell you anything about that.
You can't tell me about that. Okay, it's okay. Maybe I'll teach you
about
that.
the whale?
Sileo.
I already know about it.
Okay, tell me. Go.
Okay, I'll just break it down.
Okay.
Now, 100 feet, 200 tons, 210 tons.
Okay.
Has eyes, which are the same size as a cow's eyes,
Okay.
and few hairs. Yes, blue whales have hair
Do they? Where?
on the top of their body.
Really? Wait, I'm going to Google that. Do blue whales have hair?
Its lifespan, possibly? As she do
Its
this?
lifespan, 90 years.
That's correct. That I know. At least that I know. Oh my gosh, he's actually right. Yes, blue whales do have hair. Hey! Hey.
So what did I tell you?
Ah, you're a genius. You are a genius. Tell me
My
about a
man's-
shark. Okay.
What about a shark? Something about a shark?
Tell me something about a shark.
At least one thing.
Okay, go.
Firstly, they sleep stationary.
Why do they sleep stationary?
They have to sleep in a current,
Okay.
a strong current,
All right.
because and they open their mouths while sleeping.
Mouth.
Yes.
Why? So they can breathe. See, they will
No, they will not drink it. No,
Yeah.
it is that the water comes out of their gills.
Ah. Okay. So they sleep stationary, they have to sleep in a current, and they sleep with their mouths open.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, the next one.
Oh, and by the way, did you? Oh, and I have something for you.
Okay, tell me.
Here's some weird animals.
Okay.
It sound more like insults
Okay.
than actual animals.
Can we say that at 10 a.m.? Okay, go.
Okay.
Just give me one.
Sarcastic princehead.
Hey. I'm not even going to ask what that is because, hey, my brain is like all over the place right now.
No, it's a type of fish.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where does it live? Ocean, lake,
Ocean.
sea? In the ocean.
Shallow.
Shallow ocean.
Shallow water.
Okay. All
Not
right.
shallow ocean.
Shallow water. See, the problem of hanging out with genius. This is how listen, how about we take a break? And he's laughing at me. When we come back, okay, from the break, we'll speak to the mom and we'll also speak to Daktari and also engage the teacher and said, where are you landing or are you landing this morning? My brain is like, okay. And then also, like we said, if you have a challenge for him, because like he says, biology likes it. General knowledge likes it. You know, you can test him. He liked physics kidogo but lost the interest. But it's okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can answer a question on physics. Silio, just a little bit. Bas. Yes, that one.
Periodic table.
Periodic bars. What's a periodic table? Okay, so send it to him. Okay, so give us a call. We're live, so give us a call. Ask him the challenge, and he will respond immediately. But also ask any question that you have to any of my panelists here this morning about gifted children and how we bring them up in their uniqueness. Okay, so much to discuss on the other side of the break. Do stay with us. The show is Your World.
You joined forces with Alma to fool me.
No, Alvaro, don't say that you did those stupid and crazy things all because of me. I'm aware that was part of your excessive ambition and your unfettered greed.
Yes, I want to tell you that even if we can't be a couple, I would love for us to be friends.
Oh!
Dear heavens!
Oh my goodness!
Ramon!
He was shot!
Ramon!
You are the one.
People come to me and they say they get discomfort when they have ice cream. Can you imagine that? Avoiding having cold ice cream. Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Sheria, mfalme wale Murat. Who will be left standing when the last beat falls? Shonda Season 2 starts Tuesday, 22 April at 8 p.m. on Maisha Magic Plus. Stay connected to DSTV channel 163 and GoTV channel 3.
Introducing Ajab Premium Maize Meal. Premium whiteness, done. Premium aroma, done. Premium softness, done. Bei nafuu, done. Ingia ligi ya kipekee na Ajab Premium Maize Meal.
Right, welcome back to the show. Hey, let me tell you, the learning continues with the genius with us on set today. And of course, today on the show, it's Wellness Wednesday. And you all know every single Wednesday, we talk about anything and everything wellness. And today we're focusing on our uniquely wired brains and superpowers of the mind. And we're looking at discovering what makes each child uniquely gifted. And when we talk about gifted, okay, what exactly does it mean? And how do you discover the gift? And how do you nurture your child and, you know, strengthen their gifts? Because, hey, let me tell you, for the year that we're like, okay, that's it. Hey, and then, and like we said, if you want to explore more about his brain and how he sees things and how he knows things, okay, engage with us on our socials, and that is at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on X, and tag me as well at Lubembe_Winnie. If you want to call in live and give him a challenge, okay, on general knowledge, on anapenda mambo ya si, okay, anapenda periodic table, biology, all those things, okay, give him a question and he will answer, okay. He's the genius with us today, but also with the mom. And we also have a dentist. And Mr. Maleo, today I'm here in the capacity of a parent, okay? And we also have Monica as well. Now, Esther, let me talk to you. So when did you discover you have a genius in the house?
Well, first, because I've raised other two boys. First he started talking very early in life.
How early?
I think around 1 year. And then he didn't pick our language, the language we speak in the house. Yeah. We do mother tongue and Swahili. He started speaking English, and we thought it's because maybe of the cartoons he's watching, yeah. But he was consistent. He didn't change to our language.
Would you remember the first word he said? Or that one word, not just the first word, but the first word that he mention, you're like, how did you even know that?
No, actually, even asking for things, he would ask for, can I get some water? And he had an accent that time. And we were like, I think this is from the TV. And yeah, that's how we started so early.
Yeah.
And then when we move, maybe when we go to the supermarket or outside, and he started reading things. We pass something and he can read, and we are like, so from where? You know,
how old is he at this point when he's reading?
Going to 2 years there.
Okay.
He can read so many things.
Yeah.
And picking papers and reading, and we are like, you know, we thought reading you learn in school, but now here he can read many things.
Yeah.
And then from there, when he gets an interest of something, like for example, when you see an ant, you just see it as an ant, and you just rub it off.
Yeah.
You'd want to know everything about it, and he could now type or tell you to type for him.
Yeah.
It's like research to know how maybe a fly, how does it, he will tell you it has compound eyes, it has what, you know, all those details.
Yeah.
Every detail, he was into details.
Yeah.
And that's how we knew. I think he is a bit different, but we didn't know the much that he knows until one day we went to the village, and we were late. Of course, the village is dark, and when we came out, there was like a star up there, and I told him, Fadili, look up there. There's a star, and you know that time we was quite, I think now approaching 3 years, and he said, that's not a star. And I look at me, we know whatever we say up there,
everything is a star.
And he said, it's a meteor. And like, what? Okay. Now the journey back home. Yeah. He was telling us everything about space, and we knew, I think it's more than we think.
Okay.
More than we think, because some things we don't even know at what point alijua.
Yeah.
So we can't quite tell at this point he learned this or he learned this. So that's how we discovered. And he was not interested in watching cartoons.
Yeah.
He was dubbing them. Those are for kids. Me, I want to.
And at this point, he's how old when he's saying at those are for kids?
3 years, 3.5, and yeah, he's so much disinterested in cartoons.
Yeah,
he want to learn about something. He was actually he called them facts. I want to know the facts. Yes, okay. that was the language. I want to know the facts.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yes.
So then one would wonder, because you see, for such a child, you'd be like, oh, okay, so then what school do you take him to? Do you homeschool them? Do you, like, how do you, because it's very unique, you know, for a child at that age to say, these are for the kids, me, I want this instead. And then they bring up those words and you're like, first of all, where did you even learn them, you know, from, and how do you even know these words? We'll come back to you to understand that. Me, I want you to write for me. So now, I give you a paper, okay? So the different...
A
blank page. Because ndio hii, both sides. See? Nada. Okay? Pen. So you write for me the different parts of the heart, and then once you're done,
okay, I'll just draw the heart and then
you buzz. See, you're a genius, and then we'll discuss the functions.
Okay,
once you're done.
I need to draw the aorta.
No, you do you. No one is disturbing you. Okay, can we understand a little bit about so dyslexia, right? Because like I said, a lot of the times teachers and parents, some might understand, some might not understand, and they will end up punishing this child for not, you know, others would call them rude, you know, like you said earlier on. So when did you discover this, and how was that for you as a parent?
I'll give the journey from conception, and this child was born just like a normal child, and grew up until the age of joining school. Of course, there were some milestones that were slow. She walked at 2 years, so we were a little bit worried, of course, going to doctors here and there. We were told he had some rickets at some point, treated, and she came back well, did the first stage of school, and now joining school. That's where we started, like the teacher would say, we are thinking she's lazy. because she doesn't get so interested in writing. She doesn't do a lot of reading. So at the beginning, we got some teachers to tuition her, help her on that journey. And I think for us, it was like we wanted to push this child to be a normal child. But now coming to around grade 3, that's when we realized this is more than what we are seeing. Of course, as parents, we got to the denial stage. Being a believer, you want to prayerfully, yes,
and pray,
and it's a tough journey. Then at some point now we had to start walking that journey as parents. So one was to engage the teachers, see how we could help this child. Of course, after a lesson, the teacher we had a very good teacher at Reland in grade 3 working with her. That was teacher Vivian. Instead of giving that child 10 questions like the others, she would do 3 or 2. And if she gets the concept, we know we are good. Going on at the age of, now when I think she was in grade 5, we went to Kise, now started the journey. Of course, evaluation, we were sent to a psychiatrist in Kenyatta, and a letter was written to the school where now how we walk that journey with the school. So one of the things that I'm so happy about is Reland School, where she is, they adopted her very well. Like now having the shadow teacher, especially when she's doing exams, because Tikva, my daughter in class, can answer all your questions. And when it comes to the flip side, you tell her to write, you will miss it because her spellings will be off. Her handwriting might not be very good, but she knows what she's supposed to answer. So now that brings in a shadow teacher who comes and reads the questions for her, help her write down. And we thank God that has been a tough journey, but we thank God we are making good progress. Right now, she just did her KPSEA. And on the evaluation exam, she had 3 exceeding expectations. And the others were, she got meeting expectation, which was a big plus for us and the school. In fact, the teacher can say, we were so astonished because we thought this is a harsh exam. Probably we have been used to giving her special treatment, and now she goes to a national exam.
And that's fantastic.
Yeah, she did so well. We are so proud of her. And of course, we are so happy. But one thing about these kids is that they have different abilities that are so unique. My daughter is very outgoing. Like in church, she greets everyone. She's an usher.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she does memory verses. She can do great memory recites. And when you engage her one-on-one, she's so good. It's only that now there are some limitations because of the condition she has. So it's a journey that parents need to take. It's not easy, especially when you're on denial stage at that first stage. But once you begin that journey and start walking that journey, you get there and you realize it's doable.
How blessed you are as a parent to have such a gifted child. Okay, so Fadhili, so I see 2 things here. I see this. Who's this now?
I have no idea.
You have no idea. You just drew.
I just drew. I didn't give it a name.
Oh, am I? Oh, so this is his or her heart. But then you started his. Okay, so Ebu, tell me what this is. You hold the paper like this, okay? Your camera is this one, so stand here.
And you explain how the heart functions.
And then Tessa explain how the heart functions and what you have there.
And now, this is the heart.
Okay.
unoxygenated blood gets in to the heart. From the left atrium to the left ventricle. And then it goes to the lungs. And then,
these are the lungs.
And then
let me hold this for you. Okay,
and then it goes to the lungs. And then mixes with,
come here.
And then mixes with the oxygen. And then goes back into the heart. Goes to the left atrium. The right atrium and the right ventricle through the pulmonary valves, out of the aorta, and into his body.
Yay! Hey. Okay, do you want to draw a structure of the brain? Can you do that? And just tell me how the different parts. Okay. You have my map and that one. Okay, so I'll use the red one now. Use the red one so that we see the... And Monica, let's speak to you now.
Yes.
So seeing, like, just look at him, pure joy, like an energy that is unmatched. Yes. And also listening to him talk about, dyslexia and how they found out, and also helping, nurturing the baby and giving them the best that they can. First of all, how do you discover this gift, this unique aspects about kids? Because again, they are in school. We expect them to learn the same pace. We expect them to comprehend things the same way and all those things. But it doesn't happen all the time.
What usually happens when a child comes to school, if the facilitator of learning is keen, you will notice the distinct difference between that child with the others. And this distinct difference should be on the extremes. Either the child is being left behind by others, or the child is way ahead of others. In either way, whether the child is doing extremely well than others or extremely not as others, it's uniqueness. That's now when we start a journey of identifying why this child is not able to do this while others are able to do that. For example, let's sample the case of Tikva. For Tikva, by the time she was in grade 3, by the time she's in PP2, because the scope of work is very minimal, she's able to do those small things like doing a 3-letter word because it's not a lot. But when the scope of work in the transition of different classes, by the time the child gets to grade 1, now we notice there is a problem of reading. So there's an assumption, possibly this child did not cover the work in PP2 well. You start the remedial classes. But after doing the remedial classes, you realize the same problem the child has continues repeating itself. The child is not able to read. When you try the possible ways that education offers to address an issue in a child and the child is not able to master, then there must be a cause. Thank you, Fadhili. You're simply the best. So you must identify the cause. When you try do remedy for a child and the child still cannot read, then we completely understand there's a problem. So what happened for Tikva, by the time she's in grade 3, we came up with why doesn't the child do lesser work in comparison with other children? And she could be able to complete. But now, here comes NEC. The child in grade 3 in CBC is supposed to be registered. Yes, Fadhili.
Fadhili is doing his thing, okay.
He wants to draw for you the stem of a...
The truth. I think
it's a truth?
No, this is the brain.
This is the brain.
Oh, Mom, you don't know that this is a brain.
He wants to draw a truth.
Okay, go. Go. And then listen to the different parts.
I will just say the brain first.
Oh, you want to say the brain
but
first?
You can be drawing the
So we allow teacher to finish, and then you draw the tooth, and then we do the explanation for both. You know, good boy. Okay.
And you also tell her the difference between a bacteria and a bacterium. Right?
Bacterium?
No, you
I just said that.
Just draw.
You just draw.
So what happens, now in grade 3, this child is supposed now to have a relationship with the examining body in the country. An examining body that has no idea who this child is. You must make this examining body understand that this child is not equivalent to the rest in the class, has some uniqueness. For them to understand the uniqueness, you don't go to tell NEC, oh, this child cannot read. You must expose the child to assessment. And we have bodies that does that assessment. Right from the sub-county level, we have the person who's charged to deal with the children who are unique, who are labeled differently. So you will do a letter to the parent, to KISE, giving the things you have noticed to the child. For example, for Tikva's case, the child is able to answer the questions already, can comprehend complexity of whatever and understands well, but cannot read on her own, neither can she write. So when you take her for assessment, now she's exposed to a person who's trained to assess the child. The assessor gives a report to the school. The report is this child, when they're sitting for the assessment, they should have a reader, a shadow person to lead the assessment for them, but for them to answer. You see, they have not been judged harshly. Because it is a disability they have. But it starts with the parent accepting that my child is unique in a particular way. Because most of the parents are in denial. They will keep on jumping from one school to another and say it is that school that has a problem. That's why my child cannot read. By the age of 5 years, a child who is in an average school, even where the teacher is not as proactive, should be able to read. If the child is not reading, there must be a reason that is making this child not read. Then when KISE gives us the report, I attach the report as a school to NEC and tell NEC these are the issues with the child. And now NEC acknowledges that when this child is sitting for the assessment, we'll be having a reader. This child, when sitting for assessment, when others are sitting for an assessment in 2 hours, we'll give this child 3 hours. These specialities are there. But you must follow the correct procedure. Now, what about children who are gifted like Fathiri? There are those who you cannot accommodate in an inclusive setup. For example, if you put Fathiri in a normal school, for sure, whatever you're teaching, he already knows. So containing him in class, you need to give him complex work to engage his brain.
You see what he wrote here earlier on, before we started the show, when we were talking about the longest Nini. He said, how did you miss that?
How comes you
You're
don't
an
know?
adult. How do you not know the longest?
Because in his world, what we refer as normal knowledge in his world is complex things. Because that's what his brain is able to handle. Now, that's why, and particularly in our country, I speak on behalf of her mother, there is a notable gap for children like him. Because normal school setup do not have the mechanisms to accommodate him. He needs to be placed in a place where he'll be doing serious research, where to engage complexities of his mind to be able to discover and discover more, because that's how his brain is wired. Now, a child who has a condition like dysgraphia is unable to write. You have to take him now to a process of causing the brain to start setting these reflexes for the child to write. You start by introducing something we call a pencil gripper. You literally put a gadget on his head. You start by patterns. To condition the brain, I think there's something that is called classical conditioning. That you can condition the brain to do something. When you do it again and again and again, the brain is able to conceptualize and become part of it. So for those who have dysgraphia. But we have uniquely another condition that we are having so many children with this condition, the autism. For those who have autism, we have the extremes, and we have there are those who have the mild and those who have the extreme part of the autism. Those who are extreme cannot settle. They cannot settle in a class. They have unique abilities. There are those who masters things that are being taught in class very well. They may master mathematics and another language, but we have a problem with Kiswahili. Like all of them have a problem with Kiswahili.
And for some reason,
there's a way Kiswahili will not get into their brain. You cannot force it, you know. You cannot condition them in a class. For example, I have one in my school. This particular child will do the work very fast so that you allow them now to go and explore outside.
You work here for 2 hours. What are you doing? And
but I also have another boy who has the same level of autism, but has zero speech, cannot talk. But you give him a phone, whatever he wants to research is able to literally type that which he's looking for either on YouTube. But the boy will not settle in an ordinary class. He wants to keep on moving outside. So whenever I am maybe transiting from one school to another, he will stick into my car so that we go to the other school. He cannot do stairs. As far as you go with him anywhere, there are stairs, he will not do stairs. At times he decides, I'm not going to eat food from school.
Yeah.
But you put food, the same food that you're taking in school, you put it in a dish and let him know it came from home. And associates with the dish he uses from home, he will take the food.
So then the question is, so understanding all these differences, because again, the way our system is whatever kuje, okay? So then understanding these differences, how do we get to that point where we do not deny any child access to good quality education because, because most parents keep them at home, okay? I'm on because of the stigma and all those things that come with a child with a special need or a child who's gifted. How do we do that? But can we pick up that conversation after the break? I want to engage him because he's like, let me tell you, I drew the brain, I drew the tooth. Hey,
okay, I want to talk about this.
Okay, you want to talk about the brain? Yes, you stand here so that the camera can see.
Okay, I can only do the nini and this.
Okay, Saya, you stand like this. Good.
Now,
and then you hold it like this.
You can just tell us without
like this,
drawing.
And then
you can even say without the drawing. You can just say.
Tell me.
First, the cerebrum, the largest part of the brain, which helps you think.
Okay.
Then the cerebellum, which engages balance, kind of like. Kind of like your ears.
Oh, okay. All right.
And finally, the hippocampus, which regulates your body temperature.
Wow. Okay. And the tooth? Do you want to tell me a little bit about the tooth that you drew?
Without the drawing.
Without the drawing. Mom says without the drawing.
Tell us everything about
now,
the tooth.
Yes.
Enamel, dentally, and pulp. Enamel is white, dentally is yellow, and pulp has blood vessels and nerves.
Yeah.
This is made of cartilage and blood vessels and nerves.
Oh, we have a dentist here. Ebu confirm?
Yeah, he's saying the truth.
And by the way, you have a small tooth.
It is small. And yours, Ebu, let me see yours. Yours is small. I have big.
Possibly you can also tell her about the structure of the teeth. How many? Does a nun
Can we do that after the break? And then you also said you like the periodic table. Also go through the periodic table.
Potassium.
You will? Here's the paper. Okay.
Potassium.
Okay, let me keep this for you.
I'll draw 2 chemicals.
Only 2. You're a genius. You draw more. Okay. I want to see more. Very good. Okay, so let's take a break, and then when we come back, we will see your periodic table, but also talk about so many other things that make you such an awesome child with us today. But if you have a question, if you're watching us at home and you have a question for either the 2 parents that I have or for Monica, feel free to also engage us. Or if you have a challenge for Fadhili, also do that. The lines are open, or use our WhatsApp number 0112 500 400 and engage with us. Give us a challenge or ask any question that you have, okay? We'll see you after the break. This is the most amazing part of having geniuses in the house, okay? See you after the break.
This week on The Elevate Show. In 2024, Kenyans gambled over 766 billion, averaging to about 2.1 billion daily.
There's a second group that sucks in that are psychological deficiency, loss of esteem, emptiness, and the thrill of the risk.
So what is happening there? Where are we getting this money? Where does it start?
The same thing with the club. You see a pot-bellied man, older like me, with a white devil, with a pot belly, with a fake chain.
There's some things I'll ban from my own personal life. It's painful, but the payoff is worth it.
This Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. only on NTV.
My father wanted me to be the heir of this family.
I love challenges.
Sura yako na imeisha.
Tulale kitanda moja. Usiku geuka kwa nyoka.
Lakini hapo kwa kunywa maji sasa.
Cecilia na jina regret ni vitu mbili hazizingiana.
for 2 tablets of Panadol Extra for fast relief of strong pain like headache, toothache, muscle pain. And I am finally released from pain. Try Panadol for fast and effective relief from strong pain. Now available at an affordable price.
Introducing Ajab Premium Maize Meal. Premium whiteness, done. Premium aroma, done. Premium softness, done. Bei nafuu, done. Ingia ligi ya kipekee na Ajab Premium Maize Meal.
All right, welcome back. 11 a.m. right here on Your World. Time really flies. And today we're looking at the unique aspects of the brain, and we're looking at the different kids who are gifted and how do we nurture that. And even as a parent, how do we pick it up, okay? Because sometimes, it can be difficult and you think these kids are rude or they do not listen to you or all those things, okay? So how do you nurture them and how do you even parent them? And Esther, I'm going to ask you to, okay, how do you even parent them? Because like I said, you have 2 other boys, okay? So how do you parent all of them? Because he's homeschooled now, right? Yeah, so we'll do that in a sec. Okay, Fadhili, what do you have for us?
Wait.
Okay, you're still drawing?
Yeah.
Yes, how?
I'll finish in a minute.
Oh, you will finish in a minute. Okay.
Just to give me 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Okay, your 30 seconds start now.
20.
Okay, go. You go. Esther, let's talk about the parenting, Fadhili, and parenting your other kids and how that relationship is, and just helping to nurture him and not, feel like he's... Yes.
Okay. Well, of course, as a parent, when you parented 2 other boys, and then the other one who comes and he's different in so many ways, it is, I think it calls for God's intervention sometimes because, for example, if he has done something and, of course, you want to discipline, he's very conversational. He will, tell you, Mom, I can see you're mad. Please breathe in through your mouth. Now let it out. Now relax. Can we now talk? It is difficult. Yeah. It is difficult.
I see you're mad.
Yes. He will tell you about, let's talk about the fruit of the Spirit, about what happened to patience. I'm still a young boy. I'm still learning these things. It's like, it almost sounds like a blackmailer. But, it's true, he's learning. Yeah. So, now the part of disciplining him, it is not like what I did with the others. So this one you have to negotiate.
Okay.
But also he's a very when you set something, when you bargain something and he's involved, he'll stick to it. He's very good at following the rules, especially when you make them jointly. So that one is no big problem. So we negotiate. We also negotiate about if you don't do this, what is going to happen.
Yeah.
And of course, if all of them are violated, we also have the rod, which we've labeled very well, and even written the memory verse, so he knows this one is going to help you to remember. So we negotiate a lot, but of course we find a way.
It's the mom breathing out. It's like finding a way to do. That's fantastic. Yeah. Let's talk about Tikva, right? And parenting her. And do you have other kids as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Parenting Tikva is unique in its own way. One, with all the kids that I have an older daughter and a younger daughter. So for Tikva, she will never tell you a lie. Even if they collude with the other sisters to say a lie, she will not tell a lie. She will stick to the truth.
Okay.
And another thing with her is that she will try what she loves to do, and she will work her heart out to make sure she delivers what she needs to deliver. But of course, with her condition, one of the things you will see is that she's not, she can't settle down. That's why we have attention deficiency, hyperactivity syndrome. They are all over. They are not, you can't contain them on one place for long. So you need once in a while to give them something outside what they are doing.
Okay.
Like now, if they were here, you can send them for something. Go pick that for me. Go do this. So that at least it's like you're giving them breaks in their mind so that they are able to think. The other thing with them when you're parenting them is that one of the, they love to learn or to explore new things. Like for Tikva with gadgets, of course she may not be able to type what she's looking for, but using the mic on the search, she will say what she's looking for and she'll get all the information she needs in audio form or in audio visual, because that's her way of learning. Yeah, so we encourage such. And at the end of the day, you will enjoy having that child around you. And they are very funny. They make jokes that are out of this world.
Oh, fantastic. How's the relationship with the siblings? We were talking about this during the break. Does he get to a point where he asks them, "Sasa nyinyi, like, how do you not know these things and you're older?"
They it's amazing, but of course for them sometimes it's overwhelming because he wants to throw these challenges to them and how don't you get it? You know, he's like, "Are you bigger than me? You should." And I think it has worked for good even for the others, because of course they want to outdo him, so they're also learning more. So it's a good thing. It's a good challenge. Yes, we can say that.
All right. Okay, Monica, before we talk to you, so you have a periodic table.
Arsenic, a deadly chemical, and potassium. And by the way, did you know that bananas, which also have potassium, also have radioactive elements?
Do they?
Yeah, but...
First of all, explain to
But first, let us look.
Oh, so we can't see. Do you want to do it here?
They can't see.
Fadhili,
go and draw from there.
Come draw from here so that the people at home can see.
Yeah.
He's drawing his banana.
Yeah, show the people from home very fast.
Okay.
You want to really...
Is our banana ready?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So like we said earlier on, and you talked about then the different, very unique aspects about kids who are gifted or have a condition. Oh, he's done. You Fadhili, Ayasawa, come.
Now,
yes,
bananas, which have potassium, also have radioactive elements. But it only is 0.1 microsieverts.
What does that even mean? Micro who now? Microsieverts. What does that mean?
Now, sieverts is a way to measure radiation.
Okay, so it has 0.1, so that means it's safe for us to, even if we consume bananas, we'll still be okay. But if
you consume like 1 million bananas.
So what's gonna happen?
I said 1 million bananas.
Yeah, what will happen if we consume 1 million bananas?
We will get radiation poisoning.
See, not to self. Yes. What is this that you've drawn here?
This is the moon.
Okay.
Earth's moon, Luna. Yes, Luna is the name of Earth's moon.
So tell us more about Luna.
Now, Luna only has a diameter of 1,160 miles, while Earth is like 8,000 miles.
Okay.
It's actually the 5th largest planet in the solar system.
Yes, it is. And what is the largest?
The very largest. Did you know that even though Jupiter is the largest, it only makes up 0.1% of the solar system?
Really?
While the sun...
Yeah?
While...
Oh, he's gone. Okay, to draw. Okay.
While...
Yes?
The sun, however, is far from that.
Yeah.
Because it makes up... Because the sun makes up...
Come show me. Come show me.
85.5% of the solar system.
85.5. Wow. Okay, and then tell me about the periodic table. We did not finish here.
Okay, arsenic is a deadly chemical.
Okay.
Even if inhaled.
Even if like a tiny bit, like this. Inhale, deadly, gone.
Now, potassium. It's found in bananas.
Yes.
And
you eat 1 million bananas, full of radioactive. We do like that. Oh my gosh. And then this one?
I mean, it's just 2 nuclei circling an atom.
Okay. Let me tell you.
Hydrogen atom, nuclear.
Nuclear.
Helium atom.
I won't even remember these things. And we learned in school. And you're only 7. And I can't even remember nothing. Hey, Haya, you were to tell me the difference between a bacteria and bacterium.
Okay.
And he's going to draw.
You don't have to write.
You don't have. You just tell me.
Now, a bacteria is many bacteria.
Okay.
Is many of them.
Okay.
While bacterium, singular.
Just singular. Okay.
Plural. Bacteria is plural.
Okay.
Now I can just draw the bacteria.
Here. We have a clean paper for you.
Okay.
To draw. So you said I need a clean one. Me, I'm keeping all this for you. So as you do that, okay, Monica. So then how do we ensure that all kids, doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter whether you're, with special needs or not, they are granted good quality education for all. And it doesn't matter whether I go,
Number one, the teachers need to take ourselves through a paradigm shift. Because the teachers need to accommodate these learners in their in normal schools. And be able to notice these differences and advise the parents on what is expected. But this journey is not for the faint-hearted. It requires a teacher who has indeed been called to be a teacher, to be able to know that this child has a problem, and this problem can be addressed, because there's a notion in the society, for example, for the children who have intellectual disability, that means we call them slow learners. But they are just taking time in comparison with others. So they are more or less time takers. But that does not mean there is something they are not very good at. The teacher needs to identify what is it that these children are good at. But there's a notable gap also in our education system that requires to be addressed. Because these learners are supposed to be registered under the category of children who have disability. But unfortunately in our education system, they only dub the disability as either the physical, what we can really see. How we need to register a child who has autism, ADHD, dysgraphia as a child with a disability. But imagine in the NEC portal, they only give you intellectual disability. They do not specify. They need in the intellectual, they specify as many as possible to be able to identify the mitigation measures for these particular children. Because it is rather unfair to put a child who has intellectual difficulty to sit for the same assessment that is being sat by children who are either average or who are above average. So there's a need for the government to relook. Just as the way they are having a working party to address different needs, we need to have a working party to address the need of the issue of special needs, particularly to accommodate that which the society does not dub as special, like dysgraphia, dyslexia, ADHD, autism, and intellectual disability. For the school must go out of its way to have what we call an individualized education program, specific program for that. You personalize the learning and the teaching of that child.
Okay. All right.
That will make a lot of difference.
Okay. Let me hold this and then we'll speak to you in a sec. Okay.
Exist. This one.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know what this is. Let me speak to teacher, and then we sit with you and you tell us.
And ideally, he should also tell you whether the sun will become a red giant.
Okay.
Yeah. When it burns, you told me it can burn it in a core, and it burns all its hydrogen. You have forgotten.
Okay.
So
I remember you told me that.
Okay.
God created the sun and he calls it good.
So he cannot change.
He cannot.
Okay. That's another unique. Possibly I can also talk about that particular element he has just mentioned.
Yeah.
There's something unique about Fathiri that other parents who have gifted children need to learn from her. That though Fathiri is highly gifted when it comes to issues of science, the parents have introduced him to Christianity and Bible. So he's able to have distinct difference that as much as we have science, he cannot blow out of proportion because he's still being limited. His science is being taken through capping by what biblical teachings are. If a child who's as gifted as him is not taken through some bits of capping with biblical information, they will go out of overboard by thinking God doesn't exist. By thinking these things came because science proves they came. That is something I've noticed with him that is not there with children who are learning these things either from, they watch them from the internet. That's very unique of him. But going back to what you had asked, then there must be collaboration between the school and the parent, and the government must take initiative. Something else that is very important, according to the developmental psychology or developmental stages of development in a child, as a child grows in age, they can suppress a condition they have. A child could have been dubbed to have dyslexia in grade 4, but by the time they are getting to grade 7, because their brain is still developing, they may suppress that. So the issue of assessment should be continuous. But unfortunately, when you tell the parents to take their children for assessment to Kise, they assume, oh, so that school wants to say that my child has a problem. But in actual sense, you want to offer support. There must be a way to demystify this knowledge to the society. To tell them that when all children can look north, and yours doesn't know where north is,
it's
an issue tailored in the brain. Because a child cannot pretend not to know when they do know. Then the teachers must also bring the element of multiple intelligences, teaching children using variation according to their need. I think that will help a lot.
I like that. Okay. You wanted to add something onto the same before I engage Fadhili?
I wanted to say, as for a parent who is going through the same with school, one of the things that I have learned from the groups that support groups that we have is one, there is no special world for children with special needs. So we need to have all inclusive. So if your child does not have a deep challenge or something can be sorted in a normal school, children are encouraged to go to a normal school like the way Tikva is doing, instead of taking them to a special school, and yet their need is not as deep as the others. Because right now in our nation we don't have very good special schools. The ones that are there that are special, they go way too low, while your child may not be in need of that special school that is that way low. Akienda huko, that may be a very, she may be the best. But when you bring them in a normal school, they learn how to live in a normal school, live with every other person. So at the end of the day, they get good integration in society. So that's one thing that we need to work on. And as Teacher Monica is saying, you need as a parent to work with the school, get your child evaluated, time and time again, and walk that journey to make sure that your child comes out normal and can face the world like any other person.
You know, most of the time we usually say normal, not normal. First of all, what is this normal? Because most of the time we were brought up thinking this is normal, and maybe whatever we think is normal is actually not normal, right? Okay. Someone says, you know, there's this thing called genius, and it runs in the family, and we're all a family of geniuses and all those things. What do you make of this? And Teacher Monica also to respond to the same about genius being run in the family.
Well, what I believe is everybody is unique in their own way. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. We might not be like somebody else. So we cannot pick where he picked that from. We just say it's a gift from God. Yeah, it's just a gift. You know, sometimes tunataka kuangalia hii ilitoka wapi. Basically, it's just a gift. It's just a gift from God. And just that.
I like that. I like how you humility. Let me tell you, humility. This is a gift from God. Okay, Fadhili, come, tell me. What is this? I can see bacteria, bacterium, and then there's some two things here.
This doesn't exist and this doesn't.
So what is this and what is this that don't exist? What are they? The two things that just don't exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a sprout of fungi.
What?
This is a sprout of fungi.
Sprout of fungi.
This is another one. E. coli. E. coli.
E. coli.
Yes.
And
coronavirus.
Ooh, tell me about coronavirus. Coronavirus. Tell me about it.
This one.
This one is what now?
I already told you.
Yeah. Oh, this does not exist. This does not exist. Then there's E. coli, coronavirus. You tell me about coronavirus.
Okay. Coronavirus.
Yes.
Now, coronavirus has many weak spots in its shell.
Really?
Well, it has lipids, tiny cells, which are the hydrophobic effect, where their head, where their tails attract water, while their heads revolt it.
Okay.
And that while every brand of soap has a type of chemical called amphiphiles.
Amphiphiles.
Which look like biological lipids.
Really? And then does that help to...
They fight for space, and then they break the shell. And now they form bubbles around all their lipids and even their RNA.
Ribonucleic acid. Say no that one. RNA. that is like no kidogo. Just like this much. Okay, tell me about E. coli. You said the
E. coli.
Yes.
Is a type of bacteria which normally infects food, but it can get into animals too.
Oh, really?
So it's best to cook your food
very well. Cook your food. Exactly. Okay, Daktari amesema
now
very
also
nice.
And also there are other animals which infect vegetables.
Oh,
and by the way, have you ever seen flour under a microscope?
No, I haven't. But tell me about it.
Sometimes, if you take flour under a microscope, it looks a little less pleasant.
Really? Why?
It looks like
yeah. They don't have those two ugly things that don't look very pleasant under a microscope.
They don't have those. Instead, they have something worse. Something alive.
What?
They have mites.
They have mites? Like tiny ones that we can't see with like normal eyes?
Yeah. Unless you're an ant.
That you will see them. That's a good one. That is a good one.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
What? I cracked all of
you. You did. That's good. That was good. Okay, higher.
I mean, I cracked all of you up.
Yes, you did.
But the point that ants can't blink, They can just climb onto the ant's eyes or something.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they can climb onto the ant's eyes. Ants cannot close their eyes.
Yeah, they can't blink.
They can't. They don't have eyelids.
So then what do they do? How do they clean their eyes and remove
They remove them with their front legs.
And then they do
kind of like how a fly does this. And, it kind of reminds me of something.
What happened? Tell me.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
Now what's that? What is that? Washing your hands? No?
I meant...
What's that now?
Evil plan.
This one.
Let's get back to it.
Okay, you draw skeleton.
Nematodes.
What now?
Nematodes.
Okay.
They are basically the microscopic equivalent of worms. They live on poorly washed vegetables. So wash your food properly also.
Again, look at this camera and tell those people.
Wash your food and cook it.
Properly. Yeah, properly. So now, Haya, do you want to draw a skeleton?
Oh, an exoskeleton of an ant?
Yes.
So, you know there's a time I just killed a soldier ant. And then...
How did you even know it's a soldier ant?
I looked at its head.
And then?
How
different is the head?
And then I cut the head off.
And then
I plopped it off.
You what?
I plopped it.
You will go draw the exoskeleton of an ant and then also of a human being, and then we'll come discuss the bones.
Okay, now...
How many papers do you need?
One.
Just one, okay. Okay, you have it. All right. Okay. Are we due on a break, Jackson?
The bones, the spine.
Hey, let's take a break, okay? And then when we come back, we'll dig deeper into his an amazing child, okay? And if you are a parent watching us and you have a child either with special needs or a child that is gifted and you want to share their experience and their journey as well, feel free to engage with us on our socials, and that is at MTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on X. And like I said, if you have a challenge for Fadhili, he's here, okay? And you see, most of you will think, really, those questions that you're asking him, you had prepared him before. No, okay? He's telling me things that I'm like, okay, all right? So if you have a challenge for him, a quiz, okay, for him, feel free to engage with us as well, and I'll pose your questions to him and he will answer. And all that is coming up after the break. Do stay with us.
Want to know the biggest story of the week? Do not worry. The Weekly Review got you covered. For in-depth analysis of politics, business, governance, as well as social issues, the Weekly Review covers it all. For well-researched, exclusive and investigative content, read the Weekly Review every Sunday in the Sunday Nation.
What's up, people? My name is Brian Aseli, most bankable host in Africa, and I'd like to invite you for Man Cave 5. But before I even tell you that, there are 3 things a man cannot live without. 1 is money, of course, and 2 is ambition. I know some would say a woman, but this time round I want you to focus, okay? Nataka focus kabisa. The 3rd thing is actually coming on ground for the Man Cave 5. And that's because men will be gathered and they will be having panel discussions right here at Herencia. For those who are asking themselves where Herencia is, it's actually off Thika Road, Wanasema exit 16, and of course, it's right before you get to Mangu High School. So don't miss out on a chance to interact with men, because every time men meet, great things happen.
In the golden north of Kenya, cultures don't just meet. They merge in color, rhythm, and story. This is Garissa, where tradition lives and unity leads the way. On May 17th, Garissa Township becomes a stage for heritage, harmony, and hope. A mosaic of communities, one beautiful celebration. this Saturday, 17th May, from 9 a.m.
My name is Natif Adam, Governor of Garissa County, and I would like to invite all those who can to celebrate with us the first ever major cultural festival to be held in our county. It will be a celebration of the spirit of Garissa, of diversity and unity. Garissa, home of the Hirola. Karibuni.
Introducing Ajab Premium Maize Meal. Premium whiteness, done. Premium aroma, done. Premium softness, done. Bei nafuu, done. Ingia ligi ya kipekee na Ajab Premium Maize Meal.
All right, welcome back. And he says, I'm done with the digestive system. Okay, let's see.
What were the smallest bone and the largest bone?
Bas, and because I have so many questions for you on the bone. Aya, come here, tell me. Show me. We're back. We're back on air. And we're, okay, largest bone.
Femur.
Where is
Also
it?
known as the strongest bone.
Where is it found? Where is it found?
The thigh.
The thigh, here. Okay, the strongest bone.
It's strong like this, but it is not strong like this. Like if it was just lying down,
like
instead of standing, if it was standing like this, it would have withstood an entire van. But
no way.
Like this, but like this, it would barely survive the swing of an axe.
What? Okay, and then the smallest, right?
A hammer-shaped bone in the ear.
Hammer-shaped bone in the ear is the smallest bone. And tell me about it.
Now, it helps in hearing.
Okay.
And it hits the snail-shaped koala bone. And then, did you know that we not only hear with our muscles, but also with our bones?
We also hear with our bones.
Like
interesting. Is that why God told the bones to nini shikana and they had him and they shikana and they became human beings?
No.
Aya, sawa. Sasa, I have several questions for you, okay?
Stop joking.
You sit. Aya, I have biology questions.
Listen to the questions.
Biology questions?
Yes, I have biology questions
Give me this
for
for some
you.
time. Listen.
Okay. So,
I guess.
Okay, sawa.
Okay.
So, how many lobes does the human liver have? Kujapa, simama. Good boy. See, mom said you're learning Swahili, so kisema kujapa you understand. Very good. Haya, how many lobes, okay, does the human liver have?
Obvious, it's 2.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Google. Dr. is saying yes.
Okay. Me here I have 4. Okay, it says right, left, cadet, and quadrate. Okay, higher. Which part? So you like kidneys too?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know why I drew the brain like a kidney.
You don't worry about it. Higher. So, which part of the nephron is primarily responsible for filtration?
What is the levatron?
Yeah, the nephron that is primarily responsible for filtration. That one.
Oh, the nephron. I have no idea what that thing is.
It's called glomerulus. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, higher.
I did not know that.
Now you know. Hey, we have taught you something. You're genius today. Higher. Here. So, how many bones are in the adult human body?
276.
276?
Yeah. Human babies have more.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do they have more?
I don't know.
Okay. Daktari atuambie.
Yeah.
Daktari unasema utuambie.
When the bones are...
Speak to the mic, please.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay, go.
When a child is born, the bones are not fused at that stage. Some of them don't fuse. But at the end of the day, as you continue growing, there is some fusion.
Ah. So hey, genius in the house. Hey, Aya.
This is a studio, not a house.
See, ni house, Leo. It is a house for today, you. Aya. which part of the eye controls the amount of light entering?
The pupil,
the
which
iris. It's not the pupil.
No, the pupil is a small opening which adjusts the amount of light in the eye.
True. Well, let me tell you. Okay, higher, one more. Okay. What is the anatomical term for the voice box?
The larynx.
No.
No, that's the name.
You're actually true. I wanted to see if you'll say, no, I don't know. You're actually right. Good job. Hey, good job. Okay, do you want to draw a skeleton of a human, right? Because you had to do something else and then you forgot.
Exoskeleton of an ant, okay?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, okay, Sawa, you do that for an ant.
And he has done for you the digestive system.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not see.
I did not see, sorry. Hiya, come here. Come and explain to me. Oh, this one.
Yes. Yeah. And do you know what that big ball which looks like a trichobezo?
No. What is it?
That's your small intestine. And it's actually 20 feet long.
And the large intestine? How long?
The large intestine is only 5 feet.
Only 5 feet. I mean, the things you should know. Why don't you know?
How don't you know and you're bigger than me?
Imagine. After me, I'm asking that question to Teacher Monica. Teacher Monica, why don't you know? And you're bigger than him. For sure. How don't you know?
In his world.
So Teacher Monica.
Oh, no, I broke the paper.
Oh, my gosh. I have many. You don't worry. How many do you need?
Okay, I'll just keep writing.
You'll just keep writing on it. Okay. Sawa. So can we talk about the misconceptions about raising either gifted child or, a child with special needs? Who wants to go first? Anyone can go first. Esther, you want to go first?
Maybe one of the things, because you know the way they are straightforward into issues, you might think they're indisciplined because they just go direct and they don't have those filters the way they just go direct.
About the bush and
so many people might think they are indisciplined, they're not respectful. No, they'll tell you things as they are.
Yeah.
And most of us don't like it that way. So
especially if it's a child,
yes,
to an adult.
Yes. Like for example, actually he has gone to the normal school, 2 schools actually. So one time when he dropped the first one, he just came home and asked the dad who invented school. And we were like, so what has he been watching? And he was asked why. Because school is not a good idea and it's not working for me. You know, at that point you think, somebody has incited him and he said, why don't you like school? It's not working for me. We don't learn a thing. And he was like, no, you learn everything. And then he said, writing one whole page, is that learning? Seriously? And as a parent, these are very bored asking, these are different person. You're parenting and you're thrown off balance. You don't know how even to react.
Yeah.
So I think we also relearning many things. How we used to behave with the other two, and now with this one, and even around people, because somebody will come and start asking him things, and you feel sorry for them because they don't know what they are in for, And I think with time we are coming to terms. This is who he is.
Do you sometimes feel that pressure to wewe atwendi na wewe kwa mall kwa sababu you start talking to strangers and saying things and strangers will be like, who raised this child? Na kumbe no. Just who they are.
It was there. But I think slowly inaisha because of course you do your part. You let them know, of course, there's a kind way of addressing people.
Okay.
There's what you're supposed to tell them, all those things. We are doing our part. But also, there's this thing of people they want to to ask so many things to a child, and of course they also get agitated, and they'll tell you off. And I think that's how we were raised. Everybody comes, where do you go to school? What is this? You know, all those questions. And as a child, you know, the children we were timid. We could not. We were not bold enough to say some things, but he will tell you even off sometimes, and sometimes you're like, you know, you should not have asked this, you know, as a parent. But I think we with time, I think even the society will understand and accept.
So that he's homeschooling now.
Yes.
So what is it that you teach him that he doesn't know?
Actually, whatever we are using, we are not teaching. He's learning on his own. We only supervise.
Okay.
Because
so do you have like a special curriculum for him?
Yes. Right. So we cannot teach. He reads. It's for him to learn, to understand. We only supervise. Yeah, it is easier. Even for us, yes, because yes.
I see. All right. Misconception out here about raising a child.
Well, when we are looking at the misconceptions about especially children with dyslexia, is that you may think they are rude or they are too blunt. But that's the way they are wired. They can tell you something without filters.
All right.
The other thing we think is that they are clumsy, because sometimes they are all over running and doing many things. But it's just a challenge they have, probably with their muscle tones and how they, especially if they have other conditions, you may realize they are clumsy a little bit. But that should not worry a parent. It's just training that child and allowing them do it over and over again, and get used to it. And some people think that these children are not normal when they are when they are not like the other people, or they cannot get interested or get passions like any other child. Like my child is in Scouts. She's a Scout. And out of that desire, she can march very well. She can do those parade demos and all those other things that Scouts do. Last year, but one, they went for a camp. I think Teacher Monica was there, and she came back with a lot of knowledge about Scouts and how army work and all that. You may think that she may not learn, but she is so good on those outdoor things. And then another thing that probably people think about them is the way they a special child, probably like mine, is all over. Like now, when she meets you, because she has been seeing you on TV, she'll come hug you like somebody who has seen you.
You know each other.
Yeah, for a long time, and want to catch up with you, like
Fantastic. So they're like very good socially.
Yes, socially they are very good. But now a disclaimer for us parents is sometimes we have to be careful, because like now she may see a gentleman that she has seen on a photo and go and hug that man. You want to be careful, because this is a girl. So you want to train her on how to handle men, and sometimes be a little bit tough on her. And when she's doing that, you like put a disclaimer, tone it down.
Okay.
So those are some of the things that parents see and think it's maybe misbehaving, but it's just some nature in them.
And it's also a good thing that we're talking about this conversation, so that even, I mean, because I like what you said, that there's no special world for children with special needs, or even for children who are gifted. So integrating them into the community and also helping the community understand them, and also accommodate them and respect their space, you know, as well as important, so that we coexist together. Okay, so Teacher Monica, so we talked about the gaps that are there. We've talked about, you know, the education system and what needs to change, and I mean, what is there as of now. So can we look at the different opportunities? But even as we address that, can we see what he's done, and then we'll come and address then what are the existing opportunities? impossible. Sasa, what is this now?
Done 14 times in life for this. Now this one is impossible.
Come stand here. Come stand
now,
here so that
this one is impossible.
What now is impossible? Come stand here.
The one for the...
Start where she's telling you.
The one for the... the one for the human is impossible. The one for the ant is possible.
Sasa, let me hold this so that the camera can see, and then you tell us. So what is this? First of all, what is this?
It's the human skeleton.
This is the human skeleton, okay? And this?
It's the exoskeleton of an ant.
And this?
An ant.
An ant. Okay, so impossible, okay? What is impossible based on what you have drawn?
Like, how can you rip your way through and then remove your inside bones?
Yeah, that's impossible. You can't do it.
Yes.
Okay, all right. But for an ant, you said done 14 times
in life.
In life, so that's possible.
Yeah.
How is that possible? You tell us how they do it, and that's we can't do.
Well, how are you supposed to get out of your inner bones? How?
You can't.
That's my point.
It's impossible.
That's my point.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
Now why are you saying how is this?
No. This one. This one. I'm looking at this ant. And so there's the exos. Do you want to take us through this different parts of the ant?
Now, instead of having lungs, it doesn't have lungs.
So then how do they breathe?
If they do not have a nose. They actually do not have a nose.
They don't have a nose.
Yeah.
So they can't. So they don't really need the lungs. But
But they need to breathe.
They do. Yes. So then how do they do it?
They use spiracles.
They use what?
Spiracles on the side.
Spiracles on the side
of its body. On the sides of its body.
Okay. And then that is how they breathe.
Yes.
And then you see how as we breathe in, what do we breathe in?
And guess what? Did you know that some species of spiders actually have to expose their beating heart?
Huh?
Yeah, they beat. Yeah, their heart is here.
So they expose it. Why?
There's actually a crack which beats. That's its heart.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh, do you want to draw how it looks? Can you do it? Okay, here, let me give you a fresh paper so that you draw. All this I'm keeping for you, don't worry. Hiya, there you go. Hiya, Teacher Monica, what are the opportunities that are there in our education system to strengthen the same, especially for children who are gifted or
we can agree that there are quite a number of opportunities.
Okay.
Let's address somebody like Fathiri. With his giftedness, if he's positioned right, if the education system has a way to position him right, this we can tell it's either a scientist, a researcher, and that's why CBC, or we just call it curriculum-based education, makes it all different because of the career pathway.
All right.
That the child will not be limited to do what it's not within the merit, within the psychometric achievement test. You know, psychometric test brings out the child's personality and interest. So the government has the education system has a way to measure where the child is very good at, and will position them to that particular pathway. But now, how will the child be positioned well if he's not been registered as unique?
Yes.
So let's start by registering this child as unique, because the avenues are there, including the one who's like a genius. Let this child be classified as completely unique so that he can be positioned for opportunities.
All right.
And I think that what will really make a difference when it comes to exploring the possible opportunities. According to our current constitution, it is important to notice that even in the job opportunities, there are slots for people who are gifted differently. But if this child has not been registered with the registrars of person as a gifted person, we'll never get that opportunity. So let us demystify to the parents the need to take their children for assessment, go all the process of assessment. By the time they are big enough, redo the assessment again. If the child is indeed confirmed to be special or to be unique, register that child with as a person living with, because we don't want to just call it unique. They are able differently, so they should have the certificate for a PWD, and not that notion that a PWD is the one who has a physical disability. By so doing, they will want to know, what is this PWD? The child has supporting document. These were the results of the assessment. These were the recommendation. And when these recommendations are done, and you see it is different department, the Ministry of Education now takes it to the Ministry of Health, so that you get the certificate. And then at the end of the day, we can tell this is the child, this child is not as ordinary. So when you go to the world of job opportunities, that one is given a slot on that particular area. But without registering them, what will happen? They will still be measured together with everyone else, who we are calling average normal. But when they are registered, they will be given, their slot will be different. So if this child is doing well, for example, let's take Tikva. If I present Tikva to this show, if Tikva would have come, you will see an excellent child. And using your lenses of measuring what is normal, you'll see she's excellently like every other person. Until you engage her in reading and in writing. That's when you realize this child is not unique on this area. So if she goes for an interview, presents, and you judge her by her presentation, based on what you see, you'll misjudge. So that is very important, registering that child so that they can get the opportunities. But for the government, we charge them to have an avenue of charging this brain that is more or less a genius. Because normal school setup, you see the mother has tried, cannot accommodate.
It says, what's the point? Who invented schools?
Yes. So that's very critical.
I like that. Yes. Okay. Now, so listen, is genius something that I can teach my child? Maybe let's say my child is there, I want them to be genius and answering all this fantastic. Is there something that I can do? Any activity? Something?
What I know, as much as Esther is saying it's just being gifted, we look at the science and all that revolves around it. For a child to be genius, it has something to do with their genetical. There must be someone beyond. And Esther can even agree, possibly between them, her and the father, there must be someone whose way of looking at things is very different.
It's just that the society was like...
They were put in the 844 system that limited them, because if Esther was even to describe her other sons, you can tell some level of giftedness in them. So I can tell there's something in her family. So Esther, allow me to say this, because her firstborn son was in Starehe and got an A, green A. This boy, though he's an A material, he's very gifted in issues of music. He can play the trumpet, he can do the saxophone, he can play the piano. He has very good vocal range. He can sing. His gifting are just too many. His second-born son is not in a normal school setup. He's also so unique in his own way. So we can tell, let Esther not confuse the world.
Esther! You have genius. And you're just here saying, oh, you know, it's a gift, and you know, and all those things.
We can tell it has to come from somewhere. But when it comes to autism, as much as we want to bring the element of, though I'm not trained in special needs education, I am noticing there's a sort of autism, some excitement that is coming to children as a result of too much screen time. So you expose the child when they are very young. 3-year-old is watching Teacher Rachel. Hello. So, and the child is not 3-year-old, 3 months. The child already associates herself with someone they see in the screen. And the only way to calm them down, you see, during our days, we were allowed to go and play with the soil, crawl around, be injured. But now, parents are confining their children to watching screen.
And gadget means do not disturb.
So this is disrupting the normal setup of the brain of a child. Because these things they see are too much. At the end of the day, the functioning of the child is affected. So I strongly believe there's environmental contribution to some element of uniqueness in some of these children.
Okay.
Let's narrow down to the diet, the behavior of a mother when they are expectant. We're seeing young mothers who go to the pub and they are smoking and drinking and they are okay, they are hyping life and they are seriously expectant. Though I may not know exactly, but I know it has implications. So there are environmental challenges that are heightening the issues of special needs. But there's a notable gap when it comes to the development of speech. We are admitting children when they are 3-year-old to preschool, to playgroup, when majority have not mastered speech. What does that tell you? Because it is a screen, and normal conversation that happens at home are not happening. And the screen, everyone is in that screen is speaking in English, but mom does Kiswahili, and other person does Kikuyu, or does the mother tongue. At the end of the day, the child is in a confused setup. The child possibly is alone at home, and the house girl does not engage the child in a conversation. And that's why when we were growing up, there was nothing like delayed speech. We mastered the language at the right age. Why? Because social interaction at home was very high.
I see.
So let the parents understand that every small thing they do to their children, including that exposing them to long screen time, has ripple effect to their brain.
I like that. Oh my days. See how time flies. Hiya. What do you have for us, sir, Mr. Genius? What is this? Come here. Come here close to me. Tell me, what is this? What are we looking at?
Read what the name of the animal is.
Spiny beaver? What?
Orb weaver.
Orb weaver. Okay, wait.
Spiny.
Spiny orb weaver. What is that now?
It's a type of spider.
Sasa inapatikana wapi? I've never seen it. I've never seen something like this. Where do we find it? Somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, tell me one unique feature or two about this spiny orb weaver.
Firstly, all spiders, well, not all of them.
All right.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Well, some spiders have spinnerets. And this one also has a spinneret.
Spinneret.
Oh, I forgot to write it. Let me just...
You write it. You write it. And
I just draw the spinner.
You draw it higher. In 10 seconds, 10 seconds. What is it that you'd want to tell? Because Teacher Monica, you've said perfectly, you know, what needs to be said as we... Don't worry about it. You just draw what you need to draw. So what is it that you'd like to tell the parents in literally 10 seconds as we bring this to a close? Yeah.
I want to tell the parents with kids with special needs and special abilities that there is help out here. There are WhatsApp groups that have been formed to help people, and some churches have started programs that are helping, especially parents who have kids who have issues. Probably you don't know what to do. Look for help. There is help all over. There is also, we are living in the age where information is all over. You can go to internet and look how some of these conditions have been and the people who have overcome them.
Okay. Do you understand here with me as he finishes? Okay, go.
And also let's know that there is hope. Even from the story in the Bible, there was one young man called Mephibosheth. He had some challenge, but that did not hinder him to sit on King's table when his time came. So even as we talk about all these things, there is still great hope. And let's not hide our children. Let's bring them out. Let's help them become who they are, because they have a purpose in life.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. All right, Esther, raising a gifted child, because some people might actually take it as a curse, okay? So what is it that you tell them in literally 10 seconds before we bring your leward?
I think what I can say, there's beauty in uniqueness. Don't try to make them like others. Just enjoy the uniqueness. We were never meant to be the same. Just enjoy it.
At the very basic level. Look at that. All right, thank you. Okay, Sawa, come as we finish the show, okay? Aya, you said you were supposed to do...
Some spiders have spinnerets.
Okay, so spiny obweaver, type of a spider. One unique aspect you said?
Spinneret.
Spinneret.
And by its name and by the picture I drew, you can guess the second feature.
Okay. All
What
right.
is the second feature?
You tell me.
It has It has 2 spines on the sides of its body.
It has what?
It has 2 spines on the sides of its body.
It has 2 spines inside of its body.
No, not inside.
Hey.
On the side.
On the where now? So you point. Come point. Where now?
You can already see this.
You see with me, we don't know these things. Okay. All right. There we
You can literally
see. Do you pale? Like, how did you not see you?
Look at this now.
Yes, it's actually it. Hey, Fazili. Hey. Come here, Wambia. What a goodbye. So we're about to finish the show, okay? So you stand here and tell me one more feature about the spiny orb weaver as we say goodbye to the people who are watching us. Just one more.
Now, it has... It has a crack of a beating heart.
Oh, that is what you were talking about. Hey, genius.
Look at this
in the house.
now.
Yes, over there.
Can you see it?
Yes. Hey, Sawa. So now that you have, so you come here, you will say goodbye to the people who are watching us at home, okay? So that is the camera. Okay, so tell them your name and how amazing you are and tell them thank you so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow. That's your camera over there. Don't look at the TV. Yes, that one.
My name is Christian Fadili Mwangi. Goodbye and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yay! Yay! Well, see you guys tomorrow. Have yourselves an amazing day at home. Oh my days, what a show we had today. Goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your week right here at NTV. Goodbye.